We're spending it smart. That's the message coming from Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos. Manchester United looking for a particular type of player in this summer transfer window. Should we let Christian Eriksen go? There's a poll right now. Get voting on that, people. Get your comments in the live section. If you're watching the video afterwards, get your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all the talking points that we're going through today. A step closer for Sir Jim Ratcliffe as well with Ineos and that 29% takeover or share in Manchester United. That is very, very close. We're going to get updates on that as well. Thank you for joining us here on FUTV, Forever United TV. I hope you're all doing well. Obviously, it is a big, big day for Manchester United today. I'll be down at Old Trafford a bit later on. Paying my respects to the Busby Babes, the Flowers of Manchester. That is happening today at 20 to 3. There will be a memorial there, and it will be quite an emotional day. So, yep, won't be much going on this afternoon. I want to get this video out and done now, guys. Get a bit of a conversation going about what is actually happening in the world of Manchester United, and then get into what really matters, which is the foundations of the football club and the Busby Babes and the people that lost their lives on that fateful day in Munich. So, yeah, moving on with the show and what is actually going on right now. I did a video yesterday. I knew exactly what was going to happen as soon as I did that video yesterday. Now we're spending it wisely coming out. So now we know Manchester United are going to be a lot more sensible in the transfer market going forward. There's lots of reports. Let's just bring up what is actually going on. First of all, regarding the news on how Manchester United's finances are actually tight right now. Rob Dawson has been talking about this one this morning. A few people have covered it. A few people have been going on saying this isn't good enough for Manchester United. Again, what are we doing? We're looking at bargain basements. Well, it's quite sensible, isn't it, more than anything? I think Manchester United need to be this way now, because I feel like we just can't get ourselves in this same situation again as what we're in now. It's not right. So for me, I feel like this one's actually, I think this is on point. I think Manchester United will be sensible in the market. I think we will look after the pennies a little bit better, and we will negotiate deals better. Despite what MUFC consider a positive January window, finances remain tight. And targeting players approaching the end of their contracts is viewed as a good way of managing their summer spends. That is, I'm just breaking it down quite simply. I haven't got a problem with that at all. I mean, you have to find players that fit Manchester United first and foremost. The recruitment side of things has to be in. Everything has to be on point. Everyone has to be on the same page. And obviously, right now, with everyone that's coming into the football club, we're going to be looking at a full team of looking at these types of the right players and stuff that need to be part and parcel of every transfer now, i.e. the mentality of the player, the wage packet, the lifestyle, everything like that. We have to start looking down this avenue and making sure that everything is right. So when you see stories like that, we see Rob Dawson talking like that after speaking to the football club, I feel like it's right. I feel like Manchester United shouldn't be jumping in, spending loads of money. We have got, and the possibility with outgoings. I said it yesterday in the video yesterday, look, we have got the opportunity here to spend near 400 million if we do it right. Now, 400 million was based on bringing in 4 100 million pound players at 200 grand a week. That's not going to happen. I know that, and I said that yesterday. But what that does show is, if United can be clever, we can not so much just spend more money, but we can bring more players in, because Manchester United are going to be losing a lot of players this summer. So I feel like making the right deals happen, for instance, Atadibo, for instance, the Branthwaite at the right prices. But the big thing about United and where they're balancing their PSR and financial fair play is in the wage packages and the whole structure. So they calculate a deal altogether. So wages and transfer fee spread out over a certain contract. That's how Bowley's doing it at Chelsea, but a bit more, I'd say it's a bit more brutal on his side. He's probably not going to be what Manchester United are going to be. We're coming to the end of the Ed Woodward era and all of them crazy contracts and wages and transfer fees. That's coming to an end. So I feel like now Manchester United can start picking and choosing players a little bit better. Obviously, this summer, it is going to be a bit, I would say, a bit crazier, to be honest. I feel like we are going to be in a position where we're having to bring in possibly 4 or 5 players this summer. And like other news coming in, I'm just going to change that up. Sorry, there I got the wrong one. No, that was the same one I built up before. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, so Manchester United looking at it in a way where we are finding the players, recruiting the players, looking mainly first of all for players that are, from what I'm reading, coming to the end of their contracts that you know you can get a better deal with. And I think this is targeting players that are actually easier to negotiate with wage-wise, rather than players that are easy to negotiate for a transfer fee. Like a player coming into a club, coming to the end of his contract, leads into both of them departments. So you can negotiate better with the club for a better price on a transfer fee, and the player really coming to the end of his career, coming to the end of his contract, sorry, he's going to be looking at it and going, well, I can obviously get a better deal at Manchester United because they're going to be offering more than anyone else probably. I feel like Manchester United are in a position where they're just going to be able to call the shots, whereas before it's been the opposite. And that's where we're at with this. That's where we're at with what's going on. And I feel like this is why this news is coming out today. Manchester United are making sure that everyone around in world football, European football, wherever it be, knows exactly what position United are in. They're not going to be going into transfers and people are going, oh, it's United, here we go, let's take them to the cleaners. No. They're putting the feelers out and making sure that everyone knows that Manchester United are on a budget as well. We've not spent anything in January. I feel like this January is really going to help us in the transfers this summer because everyone knows, look, geez, Manchester United can't buy or bring players in. Even they're struck with it. So no one's going to be able to bump prices up to the stupid amounts anymore. And I feel like that's where it's going to play into our hands. I've done a video on this and why Manchester United are going to be at an advantage over other teams in financial fair play. Our revenues will give us that bit of room, I feel, to negotiate better deals. But, hey, it is going to be a crazy summer. I think we're going to have to hold on to our hats a little bit. It's going to be a bit of give and take. But like what's said there, in that one, Manchester United targeting players who are entering the final year of their contracts this summer as part of a rebuild under Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Players coming to the end of their contract, there's quite a few. I think it's not just going to be players coming to the end of, per se, that particular contract. You got 1 year left. I feel like players with 2 years left will be looking at players like that as well. And I just feel Manchester United in a better place now that we know the likes of Martial are going to be leaving. If we do end up getting rid of Varane and Sancho, the room and manoeuvring room for Manchester United in negotiating changes completely with wages. We ain't going to be going big on transfer fees, but we're going to make sure. I think when I look at it and I break it down, looking at how much money Manchester United can actually spend if they play it right, you could be getting about 6 players in this summer. You really could. It could be a half a team. Now, whether or not they're going to be players that are going to come straight in and have an impact is a different ball game altogether. But still, you've got to look at it and got to go, if we do play it right, then we are bang on the money with what we can spend and what we can get. Thank you so much to The Honest Tiger. He has been talking about doing this. He just loves giving back to the channel. Hi Adam, here is 20 and I will send you another 5 in a minute. Total 25. Can you do another comp for me for one lucky member to win an FUTV logo t-shirt? Thank you. Keep up the great work. Now, how good is that? How good is that? Oh, look, and there he is again with another one. This is going straight back to you guys. This is what we like. This is Honest Tiger and this community that is FUTV right now. You've got members like this who just want to give straight back. I will be doing another little bit, giving away one of these, or you can pick your colour. Actually, I'll give everyone the option, but there'll be a post in the community section, guys, and you can follow all the instructions there. That is given by Honest. So you members, if you are a member, then you are going to be in this draw, and there is going to be one lucky person taking the prizes. That will be decided in time. And thank you to Honest Tiger for that. If you do want to become a member, then drop down in the description. There is a link right there. There is also a join button if you're watching on your laptop. Maybe you're at work, sneaking it in your lunch break right now. But yep, that is there also. So make sure you get onto that. It's dead easy, and you may be the recipient of one of these bad boys. Get in there, yes. Thank you very much, buddy. Coming straight into the chat right now, guys. Please give the video a like. Let's get up to the 100 mark, everybody. Over 200 in the room with us right now, so let's get liking the video and let's get on with that. You know your targets. I've set them before, so let's get on with it. Okay, so into the chat we go. Z said, we need quality, not quantity. Players with the mindset that suits our DNA and not drama queens. I think we can get quality and quantity. For me, I think players like defensively, like Tadibo, Branthwaite, players like that. You've got Neves from midfield. Forward-wise, well, this could be the tricky part this summer. Because I do feel like where everything's going with Greenwood and Sancho, both of them players out, giving us more money, then Manchester United do have a lot of options in terms of who we could actually bring in this summer. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes down. Going to be really interested to see forward-wise who United look to bring in. Obviously, we're hearing about Elise, obviously with Aaron Wan-Bissaka and stuff like that possibly being involved as well. But yeah, I feel like we're in a good place. We've got the finances there, and I feel like we are going to have quite a bit of room to bring in some new players. And hopefully, not just in players coming in, that we can maybe bring some of the youth players through as well, give them a bit more of experience within match day squads and things like that. I think this is important for all the development of the younger players as well. So yeah, that is something I'm really looking forward to. Into the comments we go. Get Kimmich in on the cheap. Players coming to the end of their contracts. Now everyone is going to be looking like, ooh, when's his contract end? When's this end? When's that? What are United going to do? Where are they going to go with it? This is the interesting part now. Gehan says, Eriksen can stay till the end of the season. I would try sell Maguire now if possible. If we can't, I would definitely sell in the summer 1,000%. Maguire can't go anywhere right now because we need him. We do need him because of Martinez, obviously. I think Maguire is going to play a big part from now until the end of the season. What happens past then, we don't know. But I do believe with not buying any other defenders or not buying anyone in January, then we are going to be up against it. So I feel like, yeah, let's look at what we can do with players in the summer. I think Maguire is going to play a big part. Whether or not that will add value, he's getting to that age now, so we'll see with him. Kafel says, United have needed to be run more financially savvy for years. Our new director of football is a priority to prevent this overspending. Yep, John Williams, David Gill always looked at the background of the player with Sir Alex Ferguson. This included relationship status, injury records. Exactly, John. Absolutely spot on. That's exactly what Manchester United need to be doing right now. The player has to fit. Manchester United's investment from this point forward is crucial, and this is 100% why Berardo is in. He talked in exactly the same way. If you're going to invest that money, you're going to invest it big. It has to be right. Otherwise, it has ramifications further down the line. So, that being said, Manchester United won't be going down the lines of Antony's, Sancho's, Sanchez's, Pogba's. None of these sort of signings are going to be coming into Manchester United now. Yeah, the prices have gone up, inflation and everything like that, obviously, but I feel like we're looking between the 40 and 70 million max for our big players now. I think that's what Manchester United will probably stretch out to. No one's going to be coming in, I don't feel, over 200 grand a week wage-wise. I just don't see that happening at all. I think that's a mistake we've made in the past. I still cannot get my head around Mason Mount earning more than Bruno Fernandes, a player he's never going to be ahead of. I just don't understand how the football club negotiated that contract. And Mason Mount is a player that Manchester United would not have bought, like what John says there, if Sir Alex Ferguson and David Gill was in the football club. They wouldn't, because they'd look into the details of the player, they'd look at the injury record, they'd look at everything that's gone wrong the season before, and they wouldn't be offering stupid money on a player that's got 1 year left on his contract. It's like, it's all right. Rob Dawson there from ESPN, he's reporting that Manchester United are going to be looking at players who are in the last year of their contracts, that counts for nothing. Well, it did count for nothing until obviously Ineos now stepping in and taking control, because last summer we did exactly the same thing, except we gave a stupid amount of money to Chelsea for Mason Mount, who wasn't playing, who was injured most of the season, and who was in the last year of his contract. And we then gave him more money than the captain of the club, Bruno Fernandes, who he's up against for his place in the team, who he's never going to be picked ahead of. It's absolute mind-boggling how Manchester United negotiated that contract. It was one of the biggest mistakes ever. And that's no disrespect to Mason Mount either. But wow, Manchester United, what the hell are you doing? I'm just getting to a few more. Wayne says, look, we need to hold on to everyone now until the end of the season. I'm sure United are going to be really busy. Outgoing and incomings should be interesting. I think the Christian Eriksen one is definitely an interesting one, because he is, and when Mason Mount comes back, I mean, Christian Eriksen can't get in the team now, and we're playing better, and that's without Mason Mount available. So when Mason Mount does come back in, what does that tell you for Christian Eriksen's chances? So it may be the player pushing more. I can't see him going, I'll be honest. I can't see Eriksen leaving. I think Manchester United will still have him here. What forgot 19 games max, like I said, now from up until the end of the season now. It isn't a lot, but still, an injury like we got to Martinez, one of them crucial ones in midfield, maybe a Bruno, maybe a Casemiro again, and you're going to need Eriksen. You are going to need him. But the poll is saying, would you let Christian Eriksen go now? And 66% are saying yes, just let him go. I mean, if you get a decent fee for him, fair enough. But I'm like most people. I'm thinking we need to hold on to as many players as we possibly can, going from now until the end of the season. So, yeah, I don't think Christian Eriksen will go. I don't think the club will look at it that way. Like, we need money desperately now. It would have to be a stupid bid again. I mean, if someone came in and offered you 10 million for Eriksen, you're probably going to go, well, you know what, I'd probably take that. And some would say it's worth more than that, surely, Adam. But no, I think the end of this season, he's got 1 year left. We bought him on a free. Let's not be stupid. It's another chunk of wages gone. Another 10 million in the coffers. I would just take that if that came in. It has to be something around that mark. Almost at the 100 likes. Please keep liking the video, guys. John back in the comment section says, the Glazers are more concerned at selling shirts for marquee signings who didn't fit in the team, rather for a good team, rather than for the good of the team. So Jim will be sending a clear message to the greedy agents and players. I think this is the message now, John. I think this is what this news, like what Rob Dawson has been saying, regarding Manchester United looking at players towards the end of their contracts, cheaper players, easier to negotiate. They're just sending out the message to the rest of European football and world football that you're not going to take United to the cleaners. We're working in the realms of financial fair play and PSR like everybody else, and sorry, it's not going to work the way it used to work. Manchester United are not that easy ride anymore. We're going to be different when it comes to negotiating contracts and negotiating transfers now. And we're putting people in place that are going to do that and make sure that job is done properly, which is all good news for the football club. John Stott says, Manchester United buying players as a club over the last 10 years plus are like someone buying a car without turning over the engine to see if it works. First and simply buying due to no scratches. Yes. Usman, welcome to the members club, my friend. Donated from the legend that is the Honest Tiger. Thank you very much, mate, and welcome to the members club, Usman. Sim says, if Ineos is serious, then they should be working on transfers from day one. Players lined up as soon as the window opens or before, like other big clubs. I think that'll be going on right now. I think it really will. Richard Hawkins, the only thing I'm thinking about this morning is 1958. That is right, Richard. Hopefully there'll be plenty of people turning up there later on. I'll be there myself for paying tribute to the Busby Babes. This video will be this will all be doing around this time of the day. We'll be back later on this evening, but the rest of this afternoon is all about what is going on at Old Trafford. Sponge says, I would 100% keep Maguire. Too much negativity around him. He's a proper professional, always gives everything, and he's our one and only defender who's nearly always fit. Plus, he's been good lately. Saying all of that, yes, he's been good lately, but he hasn't been fit lately. He's only just come back. So, kind of a little bit of a contradiction there. But, yes. Just see now. That Joe Blackman thanking on his Tiger. Usman, if we get 10 million for Ericsson plus the wages off the books, it's a good piece of business. It is a very good piece of business, that. And I would be jumping on that. I really would. I would be jumping on that. Let me just bring up anything else that is going on right now. Bear with me a second, guys. I just want to double check a few things. Yep. Yeah, there's an interesting one I wanted to bring up here as well for you guys regarding what is going on with Ineos as well. So bear with me a second. I've got the story here. I'm just going to bring this one up. Right. Yeah, so Ten Hag basically and where he stands with Ineos right now. So Ten Hag, as we know, has turned it around a little bit in the last few weeks, or this year as such. Has been good for Manchester United. Another report coming out from Samuel Luckhurst here is Manchester United officials view Erik ten Hag's tenure as a 3-year project. Those sources admit they remain in the dark over the Ineos Group's plans for structure and change. This is it. No one knows. No one knows what Ineos are going to do when they walk through the door. It could be anything. They could be getting rid of Ten Hag. They could be letting him see out the rest of his contract, then saying goodbye to Ten Hag. They may have a whole plan under a new manager who they've been already scouting out and wording up. Until Manchester United, like I've said before, are mathematically completely out of the Champions League places, then I don't think anything's going to happen announcement-wise regarding the managerial situation at the club. I feel like we're going to be just where we are. Ten Hag trying to get through to the end of the season. We're hoping that we can get qualified for the Champions League. I do believe it is going to go right to the end of the season now, because 5th place is definitely going to be an option. I mean, when you've got Manchester City in the Champions League, you've got Liverpool in the Europa League, and you've got Aston Villa in the Europa Conference League, they're probably all 3 favourites to win them trophies. And if they do get to around about the semi-final sort of stages, all of them teams, which you would expect, it pretty much nails on England and the Premier League for getting that extra place in the Champions League next season. So 5th is up for grabs for Champions League places, unless we have an absolute nightmare and all 3 of them teams. I'm not forgetting the other teams as well. Let's not forget you've got the likes of Arsenal in the Champions League who can add points. You've got the likes of West Ham in the Europa League who can add points, and Brighton as well, who are still in Europe. So we have got a lot of good teams, and we are favourites in most of them competitions. So 5th place is going to be open for grabs. And I believe that Ten Hag will be in situ till the end of the season. I can't see it changing. So like this comment, like this tweet here from Samuel Luckhurst says, the unknown. We are in the unknown, but I can't see any of us doing anything this season. I think everything will happen at the end of the season. I think United will be fighting until the last day for that Champions League place. I think it will be 5th at the end of the day. I said Manchester United would finish 5th. That was my prediction at the start of the season. I said we would get to 5th position with the team and the purchases from the summer. I didn't think we improved enough. And the automatic fall-off that's followed is just what was expected, really. So, yeah, I feel like nothing's going to happen, especially with Ten Hag and the announcement from Ineos. They may have the plans behind the scene. They may be triggered if a certain target isn't met in the season. But until the season finishes, I think we're just going to have to wait it out. And I think it'll be Erik ten Hag all the way through. Nathan says Maguire is a proper professional. However, he's not good enough. That's the problem. We saw that at the weekend. Maguire will eventually go, hopefully in the summer. He will clearly stay for now. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. He can't go anywhere. He's going to be here till the summer. The transfer window's shut. Done and dusted. I don't think anyone from Turkey is going to come in for Maguire. I don't think he's going to go there anyway. Shaw is easily our best fullback. Richard says, Graham, which is what all they're talking about, the Busby babes. Carry on, fellas. If Liverpool wins Europa League, plus 1 seat will be allocated to Premier League, as Liverpool will definitely finish in the top 4. So 6 teams will qualify to the Champions League. No, I don't think it can be 6 teams. They definitely won't be 6 teams. I think I know what you're saying. I know you're trying to break it down, Vath, but it doesn't work that way. There is something else in there. It can be a maximum. It can be a maximum of 5, I think. There's something that will stop that happening. They maybe push another Europa League place if Liverpool win it. It's complicated. I was thinking that as well, the same, but then someone told me that can't happen. I can't remember how or how they've worked it out exactly, but I was told that can't happen. Whether or not that's right or not, it's complicated. It really is, because UEFA are looking at maybe possibly changing that format, which is the new Champions League format next season, where we get more games and more money. But yeah, it's all completely up in the air at the moment. Hey, Richard, no, you carry on, my man. Don't you worry about that. You can talk all you want. I love that. I love everyone having their conversations in the chat. This is what this channel's for. Everyone comes here to have their little bit of a powwow as well, and that's what's important. So yeah, make sure you keep on talking and make sure everyone is respected and is treated right in the chat as well, please, guys. And that is what we always have here. Henry's in the chat. Adam, you could bet that's the gym and Ineos have already everything in place for when they come in. Judging by how things have moved so far, I would say, yeah, you're probably not far off there, mate. Definitely, Henry. I think we're lucky that we have got these sort of people coming in. And like I was talking last night, like Sir Jim just wants to enjoy his money now, and he wants to finish with taking Manchester United back to the top. We're all loving the sound of that. But he knows what's needed at Manchester United. He knows where, after doing this audit, United are going wrong. And he knows the people, and they're trying to get the people that are going to come in and change that. In terms of what is actually happening regarding the takeover as it is, we are a step closer. This has been reported today. A few people have been covering this. Samuel Luckhurst, all of the major journalists and media outlets have been all over this, and that's the Jim Ratcliffe is one step closer because of the news that came out this morning. That Manchester United held extraordinary general meeting yesterday. SEC filings today state approval of a special resolution to reduce the existing amended and restated memorandum and articles of association of the company with a new amended and restated memorandum and articles. So basically this breaking down is that Manchester, it has been agreed and voted in that Sir Jim Ratcliffe can buy his B shares, which can't transfer into A shares, but the B shares are the ones with the bigger voting rights. That has all been passed off. Another step closer. We spoke yesterday regarding what David Ornstein was saying from The Athletic about it being imminent now, and the news coming through that Manchester United will and Sir Jim Ratcliffe will have that ratification from the Premier League. It could be this week, more expected to be early next week, but hold on to your hats. It is getting very close. When you get news like this about how close it is and the shares being agreed within the club as well, then you start to realise that, yeah, we are very, very close now, and we should be hearing from the man himself very, very soon. And that is all that Manchester United fans want to hear right now. They want to hear from the horse's mouth. We've heard plenty of good things from people that he has met with at United. Everything seems to be moving in the right direction regarding the ratification. And yeah, I feel like we are moving towards that turning of the page. Can we finish this season in a way where we can actually go into that summer looking ahead to Champions League football last season? It means that this season has finished strongly, obviously, and we are we are on the up. We are on the up. That's all that matters. That is all that matters right now. Has anyone got any more comments regarding Sir Jim Ratcliffe and worries, concerns, or anything like that? Graham says the story of the Busby Babes is remarkable. If it's followed from its inception, the detail of the stories go down so many rabbit holes. There are loads of stories. I mean, it is. The documentaries, the films, and everything, the books, even just if you go onto the Manchester United website, there is a downloadable order of service today that's happening at Manchester United. Just things in there, and the people that are reading the extracts from it and everything like that. Just go and download that. That alone just tells you how important today is and why everyone looks at today as one of the most moving, the most important day in Manchester United's calendar. It is, because this is the foundation and what we're talking about now. And this is why it pains a lot of people, especially of the older fan base, to see how Manchester United have fallen away from their principles, from what we was built on, what we used to stand for. It is, and I can totally understand it. I was brought up on the Busby Babes. I used to sit. The reason I'm a Man United fan is because of my granddad. All I used to do was sit and listen to the games on the radio with him as a kid. He used to tell me all the stories. He used to tell me of everything, the Busby Babes, how Duncan Edwards was probably would have been the greatest player to ever wear a Manchester United shirt and an England shirt. Some of the famous England players that played in some of the most memorable games for our country probably might not have played if Duncan Edwards would have survived this. He was that good of player. Talk about the Georgie Bests and Bobby Charltons and Dennis Laws of the world. My granddad won't let anyone say anything other than Duncan Edwards, and he was the man at Manchester United, and obviously, sadly, one of the victims of the Munich air disaster as well. It was a horrible day, and today it will be remembered again outside Old Trafford, and quite fittingly, there will be a big audience there, as there always is. And yeah, I'll be there, and I'm looking forward to it. Come rain or shine, it is absolutely lashing it down in Manchester right now. I think quite fitting for today. I think that's how it should be. Raining in Manchester, flowers in Manchester. On a horrible day for the club, but one that we will look at and always remember. And I think everyone just needs to know the importance of what it is to a lot of Manchester United fans. And I think that's what days like today bring. So if you get your chance to go down to Old Trafford, go. It will be one of these. It's an education in the history of Manchester United and what we were built on. That's what it is. And I'm looking forward to going down and paying my respects as always. So, yeah, that will be this afternoon. And, yeah, good to talk about all of the United stuff going around the club right now. But more importantly, just to remember as well what this club is and why it is so famous. And that is a big part of Sir Matt Busby and the Busby Babes. Duncan Edwards was the man, says Richard. Yeah, that's what my granddad used to always say to me. He says, this guy could do everything. Everything. Only reason we've fallen away is because of the American Glazers and their greed. Graham says, one of my favourite stories was the United players. 2 games in 3 days. Busby selected 2 different teams for the league games and one for Burnley caused uproar. That now in these days is frowned upon. You can't play a weakened side or a so-called weakened side anymore, can you? No, it's totally different these days. But yeah, no, I won't be going live, Z. I don't think it's right. I just want to go and pay my respects. I don't think anyone should be recording this. There'll be some pictures up. I'll put some pictures up on the socials for you guys and that. But yeah, it's just important that we remember more than anything. No one needs to be doing any content on this. Tommy Taylor was a beast goal scorer, 122 goals in 116 games. Another one. Again, it's horrible. It's horrible that so many legendary players they could have been even bigger legends of the football club. Lost their lives in that plane crash. Duncan Edwards was world class. He could play in any position in the team, and includes goalkeeper. Yep, I remember that story as well. That was a favourite one from my granddad as well. It's like literally just one of them players, absolutely gifted, and he could have done anything. He could have been anything he wanted to be. Absolutely anything. Also, look to the good Harry Gregg. Went into the wreck and saved lives. Yes, he did. This is the first anniversary of the Munich air disaster where there is no actual survivors alive. I mean, obviously, so Bobby Charlton, we lost Bobby Charlton. He was the last living survivor. This will be the first anniversary of the Munich air disaster where there are actually no survivors, which is quite big. It's quite sad actually. That is where we're at right now. But time moves on, and yeah, it's probably even bigger for that reason today. So yeah, it's one of them. It's one of them days that you just take in, suck it all in, and embrace. Pay respects, move on. But I think this is good. It's a good day in a way that everyone is remembering it, and I think that's what we need to look at it as more than anything else. Graham Taylor, Whelan and Violet were the original three-pronged attack. They made Salah, Mane and Firmino look like apprentices. Different eras. God, we could do with characters like that in our team these days. It is sad how it's gone, but yeah, times change, everything moves on, and football is a completely different game. Guys, we are at 150 likes. I'm going to finish the stream up there, go get myself ready and get out and about. There isn't much else to talk about this morning regarding the club. I'll let you all know how it goes later on. We're live at 6:30, guys. I'll give you the full breakdown of everything that happens today at Old Trafford. And we were talking about anything else that's come out in the news regarding United as well also. Yeah, jam-packed week still ahead, guys. Tuesday. On to this afternoon, on to this evening, one step closer to the special guest appearance on Thursday. Don't forget that. And then building up to the weekend, what is a massive, massive game. And I've got a feeling we are going to get more Ineos news coming very, very soon as well. But guys, yep. For now, that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Adam. This is FUTV. Thank you so much for your likes, your comments, new members and super chats as well, guys. Fantastic show. And that is us all done and dusted. Remember, like the video, subscribe if you tune in for the first time. I'll see you all later this evening. Have a good one, people. I'll see you then.